All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Clockwork Nexus, where we are here on a Monday to do some things, roll some dice, play some games. I think that's why we're here. That's why I'm here. My button isn't doing anything. Ah, okay. Anyway, so we're here to do things. Cool. I found out buttons do things when you press the right one. Anyway, this is going to be a good night. Sorry, I've had an incredibly long day at work. Definitely a Monday. But hey, we're here to do some D&D. So you are here for Uncharted. No longer the Northern Cross, just Uncharted period, because the other one, we kind of merged it back. So, it's a thing. Okay. Anyway, so last time we were here was like a hot minute ago, I feel. Like a month?
What? Yeah, I guess we did skip the last time.
Like that. Yeah. Somewhere between a month and a half and a month. Somewhere in that time frame. So,
not a month and a half. It's definitely a month or under a month.
No, it was definitely at least a month.
Yeah.
It was a month.
Because when you have a game that you play every 2 weeks, you miss one session, that's a month. So, yeah. Anyway, point is, we're back. Because I am an improv DM and I don't actually take notes, I have no idea what happened last time, which is why I have to fall back on our contractually obligated recap person. Danielle, what happened last time?
Stuff.
You got to give me more than that because
Do I?
A fight.
Do I?
Stuff did
okay,
happen.
So we found a very cool new library. Whatchamacallit? That Xavier discovered. Basically, he's been accepted as like kind of an apprentice keeper for the library. It's got like a whole bunch of fancy stuff, like knowledge that is just beyond what anyone would ever think, including records of different lives. Upon which he learned that Sorsha is somebody who has been resurrected through the ages, not like as Sorsha each time, but you know, had a same soul, different body, different the Avatar. But a little different. But there are multiple people who kind of fit into this, and no one knows exactly like why. But one of them is their boss, Thorvar, I think his name. I don't know, big boss man.
Thorvar,
thank you. And in a past life, he basically his prior life, that basically ended around the time that Sorsha was born, resulted in his current life. He's now about the same age as her. He was Sorsha's dad. So, like, word, it explains why he's kind of always paternal to her. And Xavier had a bit of a talk with Sorsha last time. I forget. I know you told her about the fact that she was kind of like resurrected, but did you tell her about that part, that he was her father?
If I'm remembering correctly, we got so enmeshed in all of the possibilities or potential ramifications of Sorsha having been reborn so many times. That she's very much concerned with, well, what does this mean? What does this make me? What's going on with all this? And she read a little bit out of the book, but not, or off of the prophecy, but not really enough that we got to the whole, hey, big boss man is your dad.
Okay. I believe you were still sleeping on the couch that night. And that was about as
Oh, yes. I very much believe I'm sleeping on the couch. That's right. She abandoned me. She didn't boot me to the couch. She tucked me in and then went to go talk to Fryer, and I was abandoned.
Oh, yes.
And then everyone, I think, except for Thevir, saw Kina floating into her bed.
Oh, yeah, because I fell asleep trying to do research, and the little, like, kind of housekeepers of the place decided, okay, you're done for the night. And then I immediately tried to wild shape and sneak back out and was caught.
yeah, you were passed out.
Yeah, if I'd been
Dusted
awake,
as
I'd have
fun.
wild shaped into an ant and like snuck back downstairs.
How long do you think it would take you to sneak all the way back downstairs as an ant?
I mean, I think it depends on the type of ant.
Downstairs as an ant, I would just need to get down the hallway and around the corner.
But also, some ants can fly, so it'd be a little bit faster that way.
But she can't.
That's
I don't
true.
think she. Level 6. Can you wild shape into flying shit yet?
No, I don't think that's till level 8. Damn. You know what? I turn into a spider because those things that have a freakish ability to go at lightning speed.
Only the ones hiding in your room.
No, that fucker's dead now.
That one.
Aw, poor spider buddy.
Yeah, he wanted to come
No.
cuddle with Danielle in her sleep. She didn't like that.
I'm going to release a bunch of spiders into your house one day.
I would infer that you would come all the way out here. But anyway. So yes, that is where we are leaving off. We are leaving off of the fact that I do believe at some point didn't V come into Draz's room and like move him over and like, no, you don't get to kick me out, even though he never kicked you out.
Sounds about right.
Pretty sure that conversation actually happened.
I vaguely remember it, but I do think it did.
All right, so so before we call this a night, then, is there any other conversations between players that we are having, or are we going to the next day?
I'm good for it to go to the next day.
Bevier's already be sleeping.
Right?
I suppose I am too, since you wouldn't let me wake up in wild shape.
Pretty sure I was already asleep.
She came in, yelled at Drax, took half the bed, and then she took like 3/4 of the bed and then fell asleep.
3/4 of the bed.
I just got the pillow. What are you talking about? The mansion.
3/4 of the bed, but 100% of the sheets.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. All
Funny
of
how
them
that works.
plus the pillows. He got nothing.
It's amazing how that works.
They just migrate to whoever's the nicest. Not my fault.
Nicest.
That is why my wife and I started
That's right.
operating with a 2-blanket system. But anyway. All right. So the night passes. It remains quiet. Bill, are you still with us? I haven't heard you like all day.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. No,
At
I did
least
just hear you.
physically. I don't know about emotionally or mentally, but we'll see.
All right. So morning comes. All of you are very well rested. I'm gonna say, Bill, go ahead and roll a d10 for me, please.
How about no?
Actually, let's
Nope,
go with
too
a
late.
D. Go with a D6. My bad.
D6.
Yeah.
5.
5. All right. So
Yes.
all of you are going to find that you are completely rested. Are you talking about my audio keeps going robotic or that I keep glitching out? Because visually I see that I keep glitching out.
Both.
Well, I'll see if I can do
I'm
something
not sure if
about
it's
that
my
later.
connection or if it's like a wider thing.
Well, anyway, so you said you rolled a 5. So all of you fully rested, and all of you, your hit point maximum goes up by 5.
It does.
Yes.
We didn't level up to
We're
though.
putting this in as a permanent thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not objecting.
That would be an awfully funny thing to object to. How often does the DM say, "Here, have more hit points"? I'm
How
sure
do I
have more
make
plans
that
about it later.
change?
Are we all getting hit points or just certain players?
Everybody that rested in,
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Sorry.
yes,
I was-
absolutely everybody that rested in this building
I don't like that. Can I say no to the bad dream?
What bad dream?
Because why are you handing out points? I mean, hit points. Like, all right.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it will work. It will work out fine. You know, I don't always have to be mean. I can be nice too.
Yeah, but there's always a reason, and it's the mean one.
I feel as though this is unwarranted. I can be spontaneously nice.
That smile said no.
Right. Yeah. No. We believe you. We believe you.
Not all DMs have to be horrible all the time.
Yes, we
I'm
know.
not looking to give
You're
points
nice
in the mouth.
sometimes, and then it's
I'm not sure how to do this.
All right, so you guys are awake. You guys got your extra hit points. You feel a little more rejuvenated. What are you guys doing? Mm-hmm.
I mean, I go back to my research.
So you're not going to do anything to like feed yourself or anything like that?
I guess I'll like stop for breakfast first, but like it'll be like one of those things where it's like I bring a book with me and I'm very much reading as I kind of stare at the kitchen like, oh no, I don't know how to cook.
What is it like as you walk into the kitchen? Like, what do you think about wanting to eat?
Pastries.
All right,
I
so
like my
as you start
pastries.
just thinking about pastries, they just start kind of getting made in front of you.
Cool. In that case, I'm probably gonna end up just kind of sitting there until like there's just a heaping plate of like pastries.
And I will
fruit.
tell you, if you try to walk into the kitchen with a book, like if you have the book in hand, as the rest of you goes in, the book stays like at the portal of the door in your hand, and the book cannot cross the threshold.
That's just rude.
That is
Because
rude.
what about cookbooks?
If it came out of the archives, it cannot go into the kitchen.
I will sigh and drag a chair to the doorway.
All right.
V is going to find some sort of liquor and put it in her traveling flask for her trip. And she's just gonna also start finding things she needs to pack away for, I guess, our next adventure. And then she'll probably grab a coffee and go sit in the garden for a moment.
Okay.
Thevir, like normal, would have woken up extremely early. He would have been looking for some sort of like an open training / sparring ground, somewhere where he could have meditated over his spell book, practiced his blade work, made sure that he was keeping up with his skills before going and finding essentially a little bit of a later breakfast. He would have wanted like a full meal. We're talking fancy omelet, fresh fruit, orange juice, water, coffee, a light croissant. Like, he worked up an appetite this morning.
Absolutely. So same thing. You walk into the kitchen and it just immediately starts getting made for you.
Meanwhile, while he's getting this super like fancy breakfast, Sorcerer's just going to be eating like raw tomatoes, like apples.
Why?
Don't judge me. I do that in real life, okay? It sounds like
Yeah.
something you would do.
Put salt on it while you do it, and then it's
Why?
it's so
Wait,
good.
you're
It's
doing.
amazing.
Wait, you're putting salt on what?
Excellent. You put salt on a raw
Tomatoes.
tomato, like
And you
as
eat it
take a
like an
bite.
apple.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've done that.
See? See, it's not weird. It's actually super normal, and anyone who says otherwise can fight me.
I can't.
mean,
That's too much.
let's not go crazy now.
I like ketchup.
Add a little pepper too,
I like ketchup.
like fresh cracked black pepper.
And that is the only type of actual tomato I like. Well, I don't mind marinara sauce, but if it is
You would
an
not
actual
survive my
tomato,
household.
I can't do it. It's a texture thing. It you could give me the Italian one. It's a texture thing. I
That
can't
sounds
do it.
like a you problem.
It is. Like
Yeah.
when I see people eat them like an apple, like it triggers like a response in me. Like
Okay, you don't eat it like an apple. You don't just unless it's like the little tiny cherry tomatoes. Those you.
No,
don't
I
eat
totally
like
do.
crazy.
I totally eat them like
Oh, really?
apples. Judge me all you want. I totally will have a big honking
I-
tomato and just eat it like an apple. I have no shame about it. It's a good
Valid.
snack.
I
Okay,
can
but have you tried
confirm.
crazy?
I don't judge anybody for doing this.
You just said you did. You
No,
just
I
said you
no, I
had.
don't judge anybody for doing this. I'm just saying when I see people doing it, I have this like gag reflex almost that it's like, yeah.
So for the rest of us who you think you're eating it nice like an apple, the rest of us see you eating it like Denethor from Lord of the Rings.
Can confirm this is also how that looks like.
I
Hey,
plead the
but what
fifth.
caprese recipes do you use? Because I have two.
Anyway,
No, this is important.
No, we could talk about that afterwards. I want to play.
so
We can talk
because
about
Sorsha
food.
is a fire genasi, is she like cooking the tomato as she's eating it? Like,
No, no, she likes it raw. Okay.
I will
A
say though,
flashback
roasted
for,
tomato, like
flashback for 80s kids. Who remembers like the purple ketchup that they had for a while because they thought that having like purple and green ketchup would be like cool and would
Never.
make kids like ketchup more.
Blah, blah.
It was great, and I loved it. I always wanted the purple. My parents hated it.
You guys were alive. Wait, you were alive in the 80s? I didn't.
It wasn't. That was the '90s. It was like the early
It was a
2000s.
90s thing.
Yeah,
But
90s.
really,
Yes.
the people that have the best
Please.
chance of remembering it are people like us who were born in the late 80s.
No,
Please-
we were not
please
born
don't
in the
start
late
throwing
80s. We
80s
were in the
at me.
90s. We were in the 90s. Don't be putting me older.
Okay, calm down, 90s and 2000 babies. Everything is fine. Everything is
Hold
fine.
on, don't say 2000.
You're all gonna be okay. Nobody panic.
I'm 90s too.
Anyway, so about this D&D game.
Right?
Anyway, let's get to my character walks in and orders a perfectly reasonable and unfancy
Oatmeal.
and that does nothing to trigger anybody. A glass of milk.
It gives you like a little saucer.
He gets given some almond milk.
They tried to give me a little saucer, but I poured it into a mug and give them a dirty look. And I take my mug.
See, I can still drink
This-
somebody. What if
This
you're
is where
given
I want Sorsha to turn the perfectly normal mug of milk into a mug of hot steaming milk.
I mean, she would if he wanted me to, but I'm not just gonna like go heat up his drink. That would be rude.
I feel like I'm gonna smell that, and then I'm gonna be like, ooh, and then I'm gonna like start mixing milk and coffee and be like, this is gonna be
I
really
was just
good.
gonna say, Sorsha would have the benefit of never needing to reheat her coffee.
Sorsha actually prefers tea,
Or tea.
but
Okay,
yes,
but never having to reheat your tea.
Yep. She is a lucky son of a gun.
Anyway. All right, so you guys are finding each other in the kitchen waiting for breakfast. You guys notice Kina is like sitting at the entrance with the chair reading the book.
I drag a little table over too, so that I have a place for my breakfast.
Dude, there's not enough room for a table to go in front of the door.
Sorsha would just sort of grab a chair or a bench and shove it outside the door so she can sit close to the kitchen and still read.
Thank you.
And we are saying, by the way, that Draz is 100% asleep still.
I like to remind you I'm sitting outside in the garden having coffee, so I'm not at the table.
Well, I can't move you upstairs.
Well,
Where did I go? I have vanished from the map.
I moved you up to the kitchens so that you can see exactly the space that you guys got. Actually, no. Here's the way I'm gonna word this to make everybody happy and to be able to have Kina being able to read a book whilst waiting for breakfast. You guys are sitting here in the kitchens as all this food is like starting to try to float around you. You guys feel things bumping into you until you guys are gently shown into this room that has, the table settings and everything like that. And oh, look, there's more books in here, as there are almost everywhere.
I'm seeing the original map. I don't see any.
What do you mean the original map?
Like, where have you moved us? I don't see my person.
You're right here. Way up here.
Right. I don't see. Did you take away my vision or something?
No. There, Bill, go find.
We're in the place with where Cam is. We're not on a.
All of you should be able to see yourselves. Bill, go find Cam.
Okay, now I don't see anything. It's just black.
Up in towards the upper left-hand corner. There you go. See, what?
I request Fitzy.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
Fitzy needs breakfast too.
Oh yeah, so
Fitzy
do
is there.
Jeremy and Jeffrey.
Jesus Christ, I don't have tokens for everybody's familiars.
Why?
I have Cam, Fitzy, and Moldy. And if I remember right, isn't Jeffrey like in the bushes up in the gardens, like just living his best life?
I suppose. I imagine he probably.
I do remember that.
Okay, so he's still up there. But like Jeremy, I would be like looking for some good like seeds for him.
Huh?
Jeremy, the bird.
Yeah, I don't have nothing for him.
Lunar sparrow that's been following me for at this point like a solid year.
Oh yeah.
Or actually more than because he's been
And
following
was
me
slightly
since
mean
not
to you
long
last
after
time?
I'm dead. Huh?
And was slightly mean to you last time? It is Druid who's not even good with nature. They're like Druid lied. It's okay. It's one of my favorite voices to do. Thank you, Creepy Dave. and that is a character by Zafrank. If you have TikTok, you can go look him up. He's hilarious. He does the most bestest favorite animals. It's okay. Anyway, you guys are sitting. Okay, so for Sorsha, who is without Roll20 because it makes her laptop mad at her, which I get it. You guys are shown to a dining room with a very large mahogany table with 6 chairs set up, and place settings are already there. There are the north and south walls are lined with floor to ceiling stacks of books or bookshelves that are just lined with all these books. You are able to take your books into this one. The only place so far that you have found that the books are not allowed to go is into the kitchen. But you are there. And as you guys sit there just kind of talking, waking up, drinking your tea or your coffee, the food is eventually brought out to you.
What do you mean I'm brought out to? I'm capable of walking.
There's a mad amount of invisible servants in here. It is literally brought out to you.
That what?
I said this place is like filled with invisible servants. It is literally brought to you. This place is used to hosting a bunch of posh people. It should actually make Tina feel kind of at home.
See, it does, and yet also, after so long being away from home, she's kind of not used to it anymore.
Well, you guys take it away. I'm just here to answer any questions. It is your floor.
We're going to pretend this is a book and I'm reading it. Because that's literally what Kina's doing. She'll look up and she'll be like, "Good morning," back to the book. "Good morning," back to the book.
Hey, Brian. So I don't have to go burying into previous messages. Can you send me the prophecy again?
Yeah, I can do that. Probably. Well, I definitely can. There you go, sir.
Thank you much. With me being an initiate of this order, do I have any sort of like mental contact or communion with the unseen servants?
You could certainly try to see if you do. I don't think you've tried anything to see if that's the case yet. But...
I have not. I wish to run essentially this prophecy in my head, and Thevier's just going to sit here and order and structure his thoughts so that it is running through the back of his mind how amazing it would be to have any books that would cross-reference the history of this prophecy, any books that were like prophecy primers, any books that might help him decipher or differentiate between truth within kind of the statements, and just see if things appear my way.
If this happens, I'm immediately going to make an offended noise. It's like 5 of the books on my pile just start drifting towards you.
So, you have that thought, and for a while, nothing really seems to happen.
That's good. I have a big breakfast. It's going to take me a while to get through all of it, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to send positive thoughts and images to the unseen servants in the back of my mind, telling them it's okay. Take your time. I can be patient. You guys made me this great breakfast. I'm going to enjoy myself. And when you're getting ready to clear my plate, if like 37 books pop up, I'll know who it was. And you'll have my eternal gratitude.
All right. So, so as you're sitting there eating breakfast, the first book that just kind of floats in is the one that I believe you guys left in your room, which is the record of the Awakened. Not long after that, basically drops a book that talks about the recorded history of drow nobility, which is a little dry, but you know, it's there. It's very much so like it is factually written in the most literally, like, it's kind of like reading the history of the crown in the most like data-based way, and the fact that it is efficient. But yeah, it is not exactly the most enthralling read. You do get a book that is entitled The Moon Goddesses and Their Ways.
I would add an addendum to my mental thought that as a wizard, I can ritual cast comprehend languages. So they don't need to ensure that they are written in common or infernal. My studies will take me through any material available, regardless of language.
So at that, you get brought back a much more extensive and in detail history of drow nobility that is written in drow, that is filled with even more mundane information. Not exactly super useful. But you do find one that is written in Gnomish. That is just entitled Dimensional Existence. And if you start reading that one, it is this guy that you can tell, like, he was kind of labeled as insane, but it talks about, it basically postulates the multiverse and just how it could exist and the different worlds, you know, like kind of the theory of an infinite number of our planet, you know, kind of split off in various different ways, all based off of different people's decisions and how each decision creates a new, you know, reality timeline. All this thing that is just written in the most jargon, like kind of crazy theory, but eventually it talks about the idea of two of these universes crossing through the same place at the same time and what would happen, and the theory of basically being able to cross through a rift in the dimensions and being able to get from one world to the other. You know, kind of like Fringe, if you've ever seen that.
I will expand the list of books that I want to include any primers on rift theory, any primers on cross-dimensional interactions, any noted historicals of investigators or historians that have made this like a source of study. I also want to see if I can have the biography or autobiography of the great magician Pug.
Got it. So you're brought a bunch of, instead of more tomes, it seems to be the only like actual book written on it. But you get brought a lot of parchment that seems a lot more like research papers and observations. Unexplained phenomenon. One of which it does kind of postulate that it kind of ties the reawakened to the multiverse theory. And you know that the reawakened are the only them in this world, but that they actually come from other realities. So it's kind of like kind of puts them as kind of almost like dimensional hopping beings. Then there's also these theories of like straight up islands that were there one day, gone the next, and islands that were like spots where middle of the ocean, nothing was there, and all of a sudden, bam, there's an island with a bunch of people that don't know what's going on. But that's talking about less like putting out the theory of, is this really like a dimensional thing, or are we just discovering these places, and maybe we went further into the ocean than we did last time, so then it really what didn't come from it. So there's no like solid proof.
Can I cross-reference any instances or investigations within these primers or these field notations with any specific like magical circles or I guess series of discussions written by this gnomish fellow who's a little bit mad, and see if I can correlate essentially time influences or events with his theories, to see if I can take this anecdotal evidence, take his wild theories that he was considered insane for, and find a overlapping foundation. I'll roll like history or investigation if you want me to, since I'm kind of diving deep into all of this.
Sure, but first let me switch to this one, and then add him back, and there we go. Jason joining us is better late than never. So I will say, roll me an investigation. The DC is going to be pretty high, but not impossible. Especially for you. Still with us, Talon?
Yeah, I dropped my die on the floor, and it's a brand new set. So I want to make sure that I tried out the brand new set. And the brand new set is not treating me like the rest of my sets treated me the last time I played.
So what'd you get?
We have a 24.
So with a 24, you will find that it is hypothesized that certain circles of magic, in particularly chronergy, graviturgy, And certain aspects of wild magic or chaos magic are tied to this idea of the idea of the multiverse, and being ones that could directly impact it.
So with that, I want to expand my investigation, and obviously I can take a step away so that other people can start to do things. I imagine reading through this many books is taking me like all day, and potentially then some. But I would like to request any primers on gravitational, time rift magic, chaos magic, to kind of expand out my own learning structure and continue the investigation a little bit deeper. Essentially, what I'm trying to do is take all of this anecdotal evidence, prove that this gnomish ideology is at least founded on something rather than complete insanity, and then take it a step further so that I can get all of the supporting information I need to really dive into this gnomish guy's book and see if I can start to make heads or tails of anything that he's actually trying to write about.
Okay. All right. Well, we will go to some other people in the meantime. Give some other people a chance, and then we will come back to that. So, in the meantime, Friar, you finish your breakfast. What are you doing after that?
Ah, that is refreshing. He'll look around at all the people reading books. He'll look over at Sorsha, like, your friends, they are very, very involved with the books and the learning, yes, no?
Sorsha has stepped away. She is...
Oh, even better. I'll just assume she didn't give me a response at all. She doesn't respond to me at all because she's eating breakfast. And I'll be like, okay, fair enough. And I will get up and I will start walking the halls. Unlike the rest of them with a purpose, I am more meandering and looking at the books and seeing if the gods will direct my attention to any in particular that might pique my interest. Maybe grab a Mad Gnome Gazette here or there and be like, oh, yes, they are among us. Yes, no. Very interesting. And you let me know if I find anything interesting to read.
Wait, I really enjoy this headcanon of gnomish tabloids.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought you were getting this whole time, which is tabloids showing up for you to read one after another. They are among us. Photos of island.
Like,
island,
are you
uninhabited
talking
island.
tabloids like,
Photos of islands. These
like
big
Bigfoot
pictures,
had a baby kind of tabloids?
Exactly. That's exactly
Okay.
what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Bigfoot had a baby.
grainy
If
picture of
Jay and Kay taught
Person-
us anything, it's that real news is hidden in the tabloids.
That's exactly right.
grainy
And I thought that's
picture
why
of
you
a
were putting them all
bugbear
together.
walking through the woods looking like Bigfoot.
Person claims they don't remember. Person claims they remember their past. Story inside.
That definitely would have been brought up. Like the first awakened person claims to remember past lives.
Also, person claims child was child of God. Insert random God here. Photos on page 5.
Things that have actually happened in my.
Exactly.
Whoops.
Except they also happen here.
Normal people can't give birth to a god. That's just silly.
And I just can't wait till Thavir meets Kina's murder board. The two of them are like with their gazettes and their murder board, start putting even more stuff together. Should be fun. It'll be a good time to watch.
The The mega murder board.
I feel like at a certain point, the two of us are gonna look up from our research, realize we're both like tackling the same problem from different directions, just like slowly converging, and then like we're just gonna disappear into the library, and no one's gonna see us for like 3 days.
I'm going
Someone's
to laugh
gonna
when you
eventually come
find out.
looking for us, and the entire wall is gonna be covered in string.
And I'm going to laugh when you find out that there is a like whole dedicated spot that you could take to actually make a murder board in this place.
Well, I'm sure then the unseen servants will guide us there instead of letting us pin string to the wall.
Nope.
Nope.
I'll just let you walk around.
Just at the end, me or Drax will be like, there's a perfectly good space right here for you to do your murder boarding. And you're like, no.
But Thebir doesn't like murder boards. You can't take murder boards with you. So he's essentially recreating,
if you have a bag holding.
taking specific notes, doing all of these other things, and he is taking one of his notebooks that was supposed to be a notebook of friends and is now becoming a notebook of the friendly mad gnome.
Friendly mad gnome. I should
I have this
100%
giant
make a
foldable
magical
murder board
item
that I
of the
can-
traveling murder board. I don't know what it would do.
We
It
could
would
be
just-
the sisterhood of the traveling murder board.
It would unfold and fold to the space that you needed it to be. You could just fold it up and put it in your pocket, then unfold it when you need it to do your explain what's
Serves
going
literally no purpose. Just it folds and unfolds. And it creates a whole new page when you need one. It just...
I solemnly swear that I am a seeker of knowledge.
Yes.
No, honestly, I would genuinely, as someone who like needs kind of like that bird's eye view of that, like if I could have a magic item where like I could just stick it in my pocket and then unfold it into, in essence, like a giant murder board where I could just walk from like point A to point B on it and be like, okay, this leads to here, and just like literally bird's eye view of it all. I would love that.
See, but I feel like I would have to add something to that to just put a little bit of a twist on it, where it just randomly drops in spontaneous information that you didn't have on there that may or may not be relevant.
No.
What?
That can be the uncommon version.
The uncommon,
The common version,
the cursed version.
The rare version is that it copies everything exactly and it maintains it as a living record. And then the super
Yes.
rare version is the one that is essentially AI on a murder board and it starts drawing conclusions for you.
And then the legendary one is Ultron. So, you know.
Oh god.
That's the one that takes over the world.
But it was
Skynet in
benevolently.
the making.
All right. So you have a name to put into this for the Mad Gnome. His name is Calnan, Calnan. Zobblebobble.
Kalnon Zomblebubble.
Yep. Zobblebobble. ZOBBLEBOPPLE.
He shall henceforth be known as Kalnon Peepee.
Count on the PP. That seems.
That sounds gnomish. Considering I don't speak gnomish, it works.
All right, I'm opening. I'm trying to find the stuff. Uh, right. Well, in the meantime, to bring Jason in, we'll say that you kind of come out, you walk out to the gardens, kind of give yourself a nice big stretch, take the cork off your horns. What are you doing?
I'm getting some food. So, can I smell anything?
Yeah, you would absolutely smell a whole bunch of food coming from the kitchen. So if you're just following your nose, you will get there eventually, and you will find everybody else that's not V kind of chilling in a dining room eating their breakfast.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
As we
Goes back to the
say
book.
good morning, Sorsha's going to grab a book or scroll that Dever doesn't seem very interested in at the moment, and then she's going to go find V. And that can come later, but she's like peacing out when he walks in.
Well, okay then.
He
And I'm
walks
gonna go
in,
find
says
food.
good morning. Sources is like, there's this.
Yeah, pretty much. And she's hoping that she can steal one of Dever's books that he's not paying attention to for reasons.
Well, I'm more interested in food at this point, so
I
I'm gonna
will
start
make a
digging in.
perception check with disadvantage to see if I see my wife stealing my reading materials.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't catch that.
I was saying I wanted to make a perception check, potentially with disadvantage, to see if I see Sorsha.
I will give you a straight perception check to Source's sleight of hand check. So opposed.
Oh no. Are you using the dragon die?
Mhm.
Alright. Hell yeah.
19.
My character sheet does not load. A naughty 20.
That's rude.
So Sorsha is able to slip out one of the books without you noticing. Is there a specific one you're going for?
I'm gonna say it's a DM's call.
Give me a D4 roll.
This is a betrayal most foul.
Jesus, all these dice are falling all over the place tonight. And I do not want it 4 on the floor. 3.
3.
3.
All right. So with that, you will get the original book on the Mad Gnome's ramblings, as he is reading all the other research papers and commentaries and all that kind of stuff. You just slipped the original one out.
All right. Well, after that, she's just going to peace out and go find V. But
All right.
all the people in the kitchen can do their thing first.
All right, Dredd. So you see Knight is still there. You see Thavier and Kina very much so head in books. And Sorsha just deuces out.
All right,
I mean,
I'm
she's
gonna
polite
sit down with a
about
plate
it.
of food, and I'm gonna say good morning, Knight. Hey, anything interesting happened while I was still out?
So I guess Knight will still have his glass of milk. He'll be like, "Oh no, just here and there. You know, all these people, they are very focused on their books."
Yeah, bunch of nerds.
Yes, nerds indeed.
Well, hopefully they find the right clues so we can figure out where we're going and we can get some action. Getting a little cooped
Oh.
up in here.
Or at least go somewhere. I mean, we need a bit of sun. Being cooped up in here forever does not do
Mhm.
good for my fur.
Tell me about
Without
it.
looking up, Kina's just gonna go. We know where we are meant to go next. We simply need
Why
to
aren't we going?
understand. We are headed north to the kingdom of Oscana in order to infiltrate and obtain information. Do you not recall this? And she's gonna just like flip a page, make a note, and then we know where we need to go. We simply need to understand enough to not be blindsided when we arrive. I dislike being a step behind. And I feel I
find it's
am
best-
several steps behind.
I find it's best to learn while doing. There's only so much you can get from a book.
Indeed. But I am still a stranger in these lands, so I have much to learn.
Well, that's fair. And I'll wait till we're told to go. Are we any closer to going?
Keena's just gonna look at like the pile of books on the table that's as tall as her head at least. Look at you and then look back down at her book.
I'm just gonna grunt in disgust and go to my food.
Well, princess, you see, you can sit there all day and read all you like. But you will
Don't
not
tell
know
her
everything.
that because then she
And-
will.
That is fair. But that does not mean you will know everything. Sometimes it's best to put down
No.
the book or the breakfast and move on with your day. Yes, no?
I would go so far as to
There
say
are
yes,
certain
yes.
things I wish to understand about this world and about its history before I walk back into it. When we get merch eventually, this has got to be like one of the merch things. Just yes, no on a shirt.
Yes, no?
You silly people. Well, fair enough. But as for me, I think I'll go take a walk. With that, he'll finish his milk and head out the door for a moment.
Kina's probably like kind of finished most of her breakfast and like there's just like little bits left. She's just kind of like sipping her coffee, runs out and then because she doesn't realize she ran out and then just goes back to reading. Like she kind of finished her breakfast and just kind of stayed there and kept reading. She's making like 1,000 notes.
All right. So, remind me, Kina, what were you looking up specifically again?
A lot of things. She had been looking up kind of the mark of the kind of the two princess threads that, or I mean, she knows her own princess thread, but the princess threads for Sorsha and V. So she's looking into that Drow family and into the kind of the mark of the dragon family, and kind of what's going on there. She is looking into kind of any history or legends that mention Silris or the Deceiver or those magic stones, like anything, any legends that might help there, or that might give clues as to where the other stones could be found or how to defeat them, what happened in the past. She's also looking into just kind of the culture of Oscana, and she plans to look at the culture of the Dryad Glana eventually. so that she knows how to approach those places, how to represent herself, like kind of the societal yays and nays, so she doesn't accidentally, do a cultural no-no, have the guard descend on them all when they arrive. She's just kind of trying to figure out like all the things.
All right. So, as you are reading, something gets your attention. It talks about a family, a very prominent family that was from someplace pretty close to you.
Pretty close to where?
Where you guys are. Good. Sorry, going through my notes. Hey. So from the city of Evlivale, which is Evlivale. And it talks about the noble family of Adivo. That's the family name, Adivo, which had a very long history when suddenly the two brothers came back from one of their many adventures that they were known for going. So Lord Adivo and his brother came back, and suddenly the entire mood of the noble family changed, and that there was a great massacre at the castle. And that would kind of stand out as it does talk about Lord Adivo finding a jewel that he said would be kind of the crowning jewel of his house. So he kind of
Then he
went
killed
a
his
little
whole
down
family?
about it. Huh?
And then he killed his whole family?
Allegedly.
Who killed him? Does it say what happened to this droll after?
It says that there has been able to be no confirmation over what has happened, as a great darkness has taken the castle. It is permanently night, and despite the fact that it is in a somewhat because most of the republic is kind of on the figure kind of south, the southern end of the Midwest in America, right? So not super warm, but definitely not cold. Kind of stays right around, between 50s and 70s most of the time. But the noble house and all around it is in this kind of state of permanent winter.
I feel like at this point I
And
am
so
gonna just
people, the adventurers just refuse to go there. They have actively built a wall around it.
and I'm just gonna look up and I believe I have found one of the stones. And then just look at Draws. This is the value of books.
Cool. Can we go get it?
We must plan first.
All right.
And Kina will just stand and does this place have a war room? I know all castles have one, but does this archive have one? I feel we should have a meeting space of some sort.
I don't know.
We should discover this. And she'll just walk out, like books still in hand and like a giant stack of notes.
And as she leaves, Draz is going to look around and run a perception check to see if there's anybody there.
What, like in the room with you?
Yeah. That is a 11. Chief,
Hold on a second.
you're killing me, Smalls.
I am being astute. In respect.
Kia is, by the way, like taking the rest of her books with her. Like she's 100% planning to go back to those, but like she's found the next thread that she thinks they should pursue.
So you were rolling for what?
Perception to make sure everybody's gone.
From where? Sorry,
The kitchen. Am I
there's stuff
alone?
I have to double check. Okay. So from the kitchen, you don't
Yes.
see any person in there.
Then I am going to discreetly pull out the book that I was researching about the death goddess, and I'm going to read while I eat.
Okay. So you are reading while you eat. You do notice every once in a while you get bumped into by plates and stuff that are moving. Just seem to be floating in front of you.
Slightly annoyed, but better than having to do the dishes.
I mean, you know what they say, bull in a china shop. You really shouldn't be doing the dishes anyway. That's just me making a joke.
Keep it up. I won't put the
It was a
cork
good
on
joke.
next time.
Well, that's fine. V's not in the room, by the way. That was just Hannah making a joke that she couldn't pass up. Sorry.
As you should.
Yeah. V's in the
Although
garden
in-
enjoying her coffee.
Although in Draz's mind, he senses that's what D would be saying right now.
Right?
Yeah.
Somehow you hear it. You're like, fuck.
That's kind of just what happens when you have a best friend, though. Like anything happens and you can just kind of hear their voice in your head ridiculing you. Like, oh, shut the fuck up.
And I am keeping an ear out in case I hear somebody coming.
All right. So I am curious, Xavier, as you hear Tina mention that she found one of the stones, what is Xavier's response in that moment?
Sorry, I've got other noises going on in the house. Can you repeat the question for me?
So Kina had made the note that she had found the signs of another one of the stones.
The stone that I currently have in a box, the stone for Caliphysis or whatever his name was, Caliphysis' stone. That stone?
Yes.
No, a different one.
One of the 7 stones of Tilden.
I was so far away on that.
It's a valiant effort,
Tina
though.
thinks through her studies, she's found the location of another stone.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your question for me?
When she mentions this, does Xavier respond to that?
I feel like with how I haven't responded to anything that's going on, that would need to be potentially a perception check, unless the DM is just telling me that this like creates an itch in my brain, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, what? So is that like an auto like pass on perception while I'm going through all these studies and digging through all these scrolls and whatnot?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah.
Do I need to make a perception check to see if this breaks me out of my studies, or am I hearing
That
this
would be up to you if you feel like you would be so engrossed in it.
I'm ritually casting comprehend languages to go between different scrolls. I'm throwing magic spells just to make sure that I'm understanding. I'm putting things into notebooks. I don't know that Thevir is really aware of the rest of the world right now.
For sure. I would say, yeah, give me a perception check then.
That would be a 21.
A 21? Yeah, with a 21, you would absolutely kind of like tune into the key phrase of like, hey, I found information on the stone. Like that right there, like when she says stones, that would kind of hook your attention back into the now.
And I'm not feeling any ill effects of being bonded to this stone, which I still currently have the box. I'm not like there's no corruption or anything like that, correct? The order that we're kind of falling in under, their box is doing exactly what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, from everything you can tell, you are suffering no ill effects, and it is 100% good.
So Thevir's head would just kind of pop up, and you would see he's maybe a little bit bloodshot because I imagine things have been going on for a few hours now. His hair's in a little bit disarray because he's got this whole thing of as he's trying to understand things, he's just running his hand through his hair, scratching the top of his head when he gets a little bit confused, and then going back to his notes. So he's a little bit disheveled. And he would just kind of look around and go, would somebody explain to me, please, why are we messing with these spheres again? I understand removing them from the public eye should they come into light, but it feels as though tracking them down is just inviting trouble. If this order has locked them away within these boxes, and they are not actively causing any issues, then unless
This one is not locked away.
them out, how do we know that it is not locked away?
And I'll tell him what I read, that basically it was brought back on it from an adventure by this lord who then, according to the legend, went mad and murdered his entire family. And since then, there's been this darkness that fell over the whole estate, this kind of eternal night and winter, and no one has been there since, but which means the stone is not locked in a box. It's lying on a corpse somewhere, most likely. And while yes, no one is going in there now, but if Silris discovers where it is, or if he already knows, he may move to retrieve it. It may be best if we are able to obtain another one of these security boxes for us to obtain the stone, put it in one, and then keep it here, where we know it is secure.
It sounds to me as though the first step, and your studies seem to have led us, especially down a specific road, that we need to determine whether or not we can craft one of these boxes, or if there's more of these boxes around here.
Indeed.
Currently being locked away by, the dangerous energies, and nobody is actually attempting to enter this estate. bringing the amount of collective power that can be resembled here. I mean, for Crom's sake, we seem to have a manifestation or a herald of the gods currently within our party. So, while I understand that it is a risk and something that needs to be removed, we need to make sure that we go about this in a strategic and planned out manner.
Wait, did you just say a manifestation of the gods?
Is not the herald, he first showed up and he talked about having access to an elevator and how the gods spoke to him and told him all about how we had 3 princesses within our party.
His manifestation implies he was created out of thin air by the gods moments before he entered our lives. I believe he is a priest of them, a
Do we
dedicated
know
one.
any of his past?
I do not.
Could he not have been? At the very least, he is a herald. He is a voice.
Perhaps. I am not suggesting we move blindly, though. I agree with you. We need to conduct more research. I would appreciate if you would search for information on the boxes, as you are the expert in these arcane matters, and I would like to conduct more research on this lord and his estate, so that if we do choose to go there and ensure that the stone is properly contained, we know what we are walking into.
As Kina is talking through this, Thevir is kind of running this chain of thoughts in the back of his head. Is there an unseen servant that could take him to a dangerous storage vault or a magical vault where items of these magnitudes are held? Is there a spot where 7 of these boxes were previously created and maintained on pedestals? Can we be prepared for this? And I'm essentially just waiting for an unseen servant to just grab me by the hand and direct me to a location.
Sure thing. Yeah, you would get brought down into kind of to the bottom level of the depository, and in there you do find a room that, again, looking at it, there is like every kind of warding you can possibly imagine. And inside of it, yeah, you can see that there are kind of a collection of things that are intentionally left locked here. And that this is kind of the vault that is really kind of meant to be not. This is where you put shit not to be caught.
I'm looking specifically for 6 other boxes that look exactly like the one that is currently on my hip.
Oh, you see a ton.
Is there a vault? I get the entire thing is a vault, but is there? You know how normally you go into a location that's got all of these dangerous magical artifacts, and there's pedestals or ways to categorize them and log them. I'm looking for a space that might be open for the current box that I have.
So you see a lot of basically kind of like Skyrim glass cases. You know what I mean? All of them have runes on them, wardings on them, and you do find one that has enough room for the box in it.
Well, then the box is going in the warding room, and then I'm going to grab another box, and then I'll go back and find Kina.
Yeah, all right. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take our bio break real quick. So if you give us just 5 minutes, we will be right back to see what happens next. Once I find intermission. There you are. All right, so yeah, give us 5 minutes and we'll be right back. Here we go. right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And where we left off was Xavier just took the big bad scary stone and put it down in a vault down in the basement. And then he came back up to talk to Tina.
Who's
And-
no longer in the dining room.
Who's no longer in the dining room. Xavier, you would also find that, like, kind of outside of the vault room, there are a number of these boxes that are just kind of available. Like, you can tell that they are open and everything, so you would have another one that you can attune to. If he
Since the Selkies may not be back, Kina
Yeah.
is kind of just like perusing the rest of the archives with like the rest of her books, just trying to find any records on this Lord's estate and family, and just any records on what may have happened, what may have been determined about the place, you know, what people may have witnessed there before it was closed off in the year since.
Sure. So, what you would uncover is that the two brothers that lived there, initially, were the brothers Ramed, which is RAH''MED, and Hamir, HEMEIR. A Devo, and that they were two, ambitious brothers, so they were always trying to one up each other, but really it was never anything, malicious or anything like that.
Sibling rivalry.
Yeah, like good-hearted sibling rivalry. And then eventually Hamir got married to to Sisha, which is Sisha. And then they had 3 children. They had $2, Kana, which is Cahna, and Shenzala, which is Shenzala. And then the baby of the family, Zashed, which is Zashed. And then, oh no. Somebody please say that somebody wrote down the name of this place that I'm selling you to.
No.
Yeah. I'm going to write that down again because I lost it in my notes. Cool. And Evlavale long ago used to be kind of the, for lack of a better term, capital of the county. So not of the kingdom as a whole, but of the area. A lot of the nobles came there, and Hamir was known as kind of a guiding light. They picked him as a guy that was going to be he was going to be next elected leader of the republic.
So this was the younger brother or the older brother?
He was the older brother.
Okay, and he was the one with family.
So yeah, very noble, very well spoken, very that everything about it just pointed to him being all in all a very good guy. And then all of a sudden, like I said, they came back on one of these adventures, which they did just as something to relax, honestly, something just for kind of the two of them. And then all of a sudden everything changed. And all of a sudden there was kind of this air of jealousy that kind of started taking over, and kind of imagined slights, just kind of very quickly descended into madness. And then one night, rumor goes that Amir went crazy, took out the family, took out the nobles that came to him, took out the servants, took out like everything. But again, nobody has been able to prove it. And then recent years, there's been supposed sightings of ghostly figures moving through the woods around the estate. The perma winter that's kind of there, like I said, the people around there have built up a wall to keep it in, and everything for the past about 20 years have been pretty good. It's been pretty quiet, but in the last couple years, that winter is starting to spread out beyond.
Now, Hamir, did he ever leave? Did he survive this? Was it like a murder-suicide thing?
He has not been seen since, and this was some like 300 years ago.
Okay. Was this a human family, elven family, dwarven? What lineage?
Could
he realistically still be alive?
To the best of what you're seeing, they were human.
Okay. So we do not know if he still remains there. If he does, he likely still has the stone and guards it carefully. If he left, he likely took it with him. But the fact that there is only one way to find out. I'm going to start looking for any kind of like records of like the layout of the place, or like the roads leading towards it, the effects this place has, if there's any. Is this like normal winter, besides just the fact that it's eternal, or does it have any like specific debilitating effects? Like does it do anything extra? Just kind of, because I feel like we need to go investigate this, make sure that this stone is at least secure, and I would rather know kind of the scope and the layout of where we're walking into before we arrive.
Absolutely. And again, kind of like as you're doing your research, you would find, no roles necessary, you would find that people have called the woods around the Adivo estate. It has now been named the Wailing Woods, or the Woods of Sorrow, depending on which side of the lake you ask. And so it gets well beyond, it's significantly colder than the winter of the surrounding areas. When it, like in there, typically winter in the area, like it gets down to like, maybe 25, 30 degrees. They're saying that the temperature in these woods is frequently like right around zero. Like it is frigid cold. Like I said, there have been stories of ghostly figures being seen. There have been stories of people being called to the woods, where they then go basically and end up either disappeared or ending themselves.
So they join the spirits in the woods.
More or less. A lot of the stuff that you find is it's rumors. It's nothing that is confirmed. It is just people are saying, oh, they're going there and they are ending, but there's nothing saying that has happened. Like, there's no proof that has happened.
How often do people seem to be called into these woods? Like, how often do people seem to disappear to the woods?
It was starting like kind of like once every 50 years or so. And then it kind of went to once a decade to once every couple of years. And now it is becoming a regular thing.
Okay.
What does the Mad Gnome Gazette say is going on there is the question.
Well, if you're asking Xavier what the Mad Gnome Gazette says, if he's looking for the Mad Gnome book, that would be a lovely time for him to discover he doesn't have it.
Oh, boo.
That's because he's looking for legitimate academic sources.
No, it's because my wife stole my book. She stole my book.
I'm just getting this vision of like somebody coming and being like, "You had the book that the Mad Gnome wrote. Like, where's that?" And you just like looking through the stack and you just being like, "Oh."
That is pretty much exactly how that would go.
Okay. Well, tell a story. This is the information you have. You guys tell me what's happening.
I feel like I would try and like summon everyone. Like, okay, we need to talk, people.
I feel like Sorsha is not in the room and she was looking for V with that stolen book. I don't even think she's on the same floor as you guys.
Yeah, if you guys want to take it away and have a conversation in the gardens, go for it.
I had my Roll20 up and I was like looking for the garden, but the map was so insane and it kept lagging for me in Roll20. So if somebody could put me in the garden, that would be great.
I can make that work.
Don't make it work until she gives me my book back.
Don't be a butthead.
Oh crap, there's a lot of stuff here. This is a really big map. There you go. That. And so everybody else can see what's going on. Make that. And then I will go over here. This. Boom. All right, Bill. Focus on Cam, which is way over on the other side of the map, towards the right edge of the map. There you go. So you guys are sitting in this garden that is a very, very peaceful garden. You see some fireflies that are just kind of floating around. You hear the gentle song of the frogs that it's just kind of like croaking and everything like that. You hear.
I want to know what Sorsha is, what V is doing in the garden.
Okay, go for it.
So I know it's going to sound a little weird because she's a drow, but she is going to sit in a sunny spot. She does like the sun, even though she can't see in it. She might be blind. But she does like sitting in the sun, so it would kind of be like partial shade, partial not on a bench. And she'll just be like leaning back, like kind of relaxing. and just sipping on her coffee, setting it back down, and just kind of being alone. And then you notice she has a flask next to the coffee. Is it in the coffee? Do you want to check it out? Or is she just taking a
Sorsha just sort of like slowly walks up with this stolen book in hand, like, are you throwing daggers or are we gonna talk?
I just woke up, but we're kind of in a bright spot, so I can't see shit. Who's here? And she puts her hands over her eyes to the best of her ability to kind of see who it is.
Oh, I love this game. And so she's gonna like almost dash, if the DM will allow it, and like cover V's eyes with her hands. Like, guess who?
Well, V's gonna like take her hands off and quickly, like, she's gonna have her hand on a dagger quickly, like almost like a reaction, and then she's gonna see it's you, and she's gonna like stop herself, like she's just gonna be like, "You are so lucky."
So she's
Like,
gonna
just
back off with the book in one hand, like, I was just trying to make fun.
I don't. Didn't your mother ever tell you not
to?
Well, I didn't, but didn't your mom ever teach you not to sneak up on people?
I don't actually know my mother, so we could talk about that another time. And she's gonna like finger guns me.
And he's just gonna be like, "Oh shit." Like, oh, she didn't mean to do that one.
Anyway, can I sit? And like Saoirse will gesture towards the bench.
Yeah, V will sit on the shaded side at this point and allow her to sit in the warm and sunny spot.
I feel like Saoirse would sort of like hand gesture, like, no, like, you scooch to the sun. Like, she's hot enough with her fire genasi butt. Like, no way.
All right, well, she can't read anyway then, so I mean, she can read, but she'll be blind to be able to. All right, so I'll scooch over back to the sun and allow you to sit in the shaded area, if you are the boss anyway. So,
Oh
whatever.
my god. She's gonna like hold up that gnome book as a shield as she sits down in that shade spot. Are you throwing things? Are you just sitting? Are you enjoying coffee like a normal person? And like, she's sort of looking at you like, what are you doing?
I didn't know it was you. And listen, I was enjoying coffee. I wasn't expecting anybody to pop out of the sun and surprise me, and especially think it was hide and seek. It was just quite a different turn of events for me, and I apologize for almost pulling my knife on you. Was it my... Yeah. Sorry.
With that, Saoirse would sort of like grab onto her ribs a little bit and be like, I've got my own scars. It's okay. But while the rest of our people are in the kitchen eating, why are you here? Alone.
I always started my mornings alone before the house got rowdy. Your siblings wake up, your mom wakes up, family.
And Saoirse looks so flabbergasted. She is so lost. Like her head will tilt back and forth. Siblings? You had siblings?
Yeah. Doesn't everybody?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, yeah. V's just gonna stay quiet and sip her coffee like awkwardly, like she's just going like, I am doing so well.
And Saoirse will look at V like, Is there anything else you want to say? Maybe?
No, no. I think you had something to say because you came and found me.
I was just wondering why you weren't in the kitchen with the rest of us. We're supposed to be a team. Are you not a team player? And like she almost looks sad. Like she looks sad because she wants this whole group to work together, and she was like, "All V wasn't in the kitchen, so where's V? And why is V by herself?"
I mean, well, like I said, I just like my mornings quiet. It's what I've done since I was young, and keep doing every morning. I always have them alone. Well, sometimes alone if the big lug isn't around. He sometimes doesn't get the hint. He's kind of dense between the horns, I guess.
And like Sorsha will tilt her head to the left. Big lug. Who are you talking about? We have a lug in the. You have a big lug somewhere back home?
No, I just the guy with the horns. Draz, are you okay?
And like Sorsha's again going to tilt her head back and forth. Thevir has horns, but I don't think you guys knew each other.
No. Oh shit!
I'm so confused. And Sorsha looks like genuinely confused, like, because there's two people, as far as I'm aware, out of character, two people with horns. So like, there's only two people that V could be talking about. And she's just like, I don't understand.
Well, V's definitely not even thinking about Xavier. He's definitely only referring to Draz.
Well, Sorsha doesn't know that, so
Yeah. Oh my god. Not the cow. The one that lives in the barn. He'll hate me to hear me say that, but it's my favorite joke.
There's a barn? This is a
No.
library, I thought.
V takes a swig from her flask before she says anything. She goes, well, I wasn't being literal. And I think you take things more literal. What's in your hand?
I think that's less important than what you were talking about, so continue.
No. I think what's in your hands is a little bit more important. She takes the book from your hands and starts flipping through it. Like,
Oh, that's a damn call. I am totally okay with V stealing the book, but I don't know if there's any rolls that need to be made.
If you're not trying to stop her, then nah.
No. Sorsha literally only had the book because she was worried that V was going to throw daggers at her as she walked in to her vicinity. So no.
So yeah, if you take the book from her, you now have the book of the ramblings of a mad gnome.
is that really the title of it?
No.
Oh, it's like that's a pretty wild title, The Ramblings of a Mad Gnome by Mad Gnome.
The title is No, Really, I'm Not Crazy. But
Yeah, right. That's the dedication. It says, I'm not crazy, I promise you. All right. I guess I look at Sorsha and I look at the book and I look at both of us and I just kind of go like, well, I don't know. And I start like slowly flipping through it to see if she like makes any reaction to pages to see which one I'm supposed to read.
No, I feel like if V is like actually reading the book, Sorsha would sort of like back off. She'd like scoot on the bench a little bit and like cross her arms, like, "Okay, I'm just here."
All right. So why are you here?
Is she asking Sorsha that or the book?
She's looking at the book but asking you.
I'm here because, and she looks flustered a little bit. I'm here because all of us were having breakfast and you weren't there. And we're supposed to be a team. We're supposed to be a group. So why didn't you stay for breakfast? And like she gives you like a really good like puppy pouty face.
V just kind of takes a deep breath and she just goes, all right. And she gets up and she goes, let's go have breakfast.
But you don't want breakfast. And she'll like eye the coffee and just, why did you want to be alone?
I mean, don't you need to like be alone from time to time? Isn't everybody just you need a recharge, you know? Like, so I'm not pulling the knife out for no reason on people. Everybody starts.
I don't
Go ahead.
know. I don't know. I feel like I was alone until I found Thevir, and then all of a sudden my life blew up. And now I'm with you guys, and I feel like you and Draz and Kina and Friar, we should be a family. And she'll sort of shrug. I feel like I'm just crazy because I don't want any of you guys to get hurt. I want you guys to be okay. I want you guys to be sane. But actually, look at who you're talking to, and she'll like make like the crazy eyes to you, like look at who you're talking to. But I think we'll be okay. But do you think we'll be okay? Like, do you want to leave? Do you want to go? Because I could give you an out. I'm very persuasive. And like she'll sit up a little bit straighter, like very like noble-esque. As much as she hates it, she will sit very straight, like
V's just gonna look down at like her like lap for a second and she's gonna like kind of rub her number because it is kind of there, her tattoo, and she's just kind of be like, take a deep breath, and she's gonna be like, look, I can't just simply be signed off. Do I want to leave? Some days, yes. Some days, no. Sometimes you guys are fun and funny to be around, funny to watch. But I also have a duty. And I don't know. Sometimes I need my coffee before I interact and have bacon and eggs with everybody. I was going to come in. Just needed to have a little few more extra moments of relaxation.
and you relax in the garden.
Yeah.
Why? And like Saoirse gets like a little bit closer and like her head tilts to the left. Why? What flowers make you so comfortable here?
You think it's the flowers?
I mean, it's a garden. Please, if it's anything else, tell me otherwise. I would love to learn.
It's outside.
Outside, what? And she looks genuinely confused.
Like, it's just nature. It's just, I may be in the walls, but I'm not in the house. I don't belong in the gilded halls. Maybe you look comfortable here. I feel uncomfortable.
As you say that she feels comfortable, you would totally notice her eye twitch a little bit. She's not going to mention it, but her eye totally twitches like, eh.
Sorry. Yeah. So she just like gets up and grabs her coffee and she's like, so breakfast, right?
Breakfast. And so she'll get up and grab her tea and she will offer her arm to V, sort of like to like hook arms.
V would look at her and just kind of like place it down to be like, I'll just walk next to you.
Oh, really? I thought we were becoming friends. And like she'll put her arm down and just walk side by side with V.
Okay. V's just gonna walk and she's just kind of gonna be in her head like, what the fuck just happened? That didn't seem like Sorsha. Like she's literally being like, who was that? That wasn't her. Is this a doppelganger? She's gonna start looking at her. Like, like skeptically, like, at the corner of her eye, like,
Aww. But it was her. Sorsha's crazy. If we met her, jeez.
this way. Did you roll? All right. So I guess we're going to have breakfast.
Are we heading towards the kitchen
Yeah.
with everybody else? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll grab a handful of bacon and sit down.
Sorsha will too. She will absolutely like track what V is grabbing and like grab what V grabs. Like whatever V grabs for breakfast, Sorsha's like, okay, mine.
Draz is going to look at V and just say, did you enjoy your coffee and your quiet?
Yeah. As much as you enjoyed, she looks down at his breakfast and goes, I guess the eggs.
As this is happening, I feel like this is about when Kina walks back in, just like, is everyone here? Good. I found information, and she's just gonna like drop a stack of books on the table. I have found another one of the stone.
Kina. I am too tired for this. Just shut up for like 5 minutes. And Sorsha will just sort of like put her hands on the table and use her arms as a pillow for a second.
Kina's gonna just stare at her for a minute and then just anyways. I have found another one of the stones. I am not certain if it is still at the location, but either way, there are harmful effects that are spreading outward from the area where the stone was last seen. And I believe we should investigate to, at the very least, stop the deaths that have been happening at an increasing rate over the years. And if the stone is still there, secure it. If it is not there, try to discover where it may be now. I feel it is important that we secure these stones before Silverus can get his hands on them. Now, I have conducted research, and she's going to start like laying out different materials on the estate where this is, and she's just gonna like briefly explain the history of like the stone there, like the tale of the two brothers, and she'll lay out like this kind of regional map, like just kind of like a regional traveler's map, I imagine, not a very detailed one, but just like this is more or less the area. These are the woods. There have been sightings of spirits there over the last few centuries. Over time, these spirits have seemed to be luring civilians into the woods where they then vanish. This has been increasing quite a bit lately, so regardless of if the stone is there or not, this place should be investigated. I think it is highly likely that the stone may still be there. At the very least, there are spirits that are not at rest there.
What are you waiting for? Let's go.
We do need supplies first. The area is in a state of eternal winter, quite a frigid one. The likes of which I do not know if we have all seen before. So I think it would be prudent to make sure we are properly augmented for winter clothing.
Can these creepy ghost servants help us?
So
I'm going to
as
look
soon
at
as
the
you
bear
just
and-
start thinking about needing winter clothes, like about 5 or 6 minutes later, just these armfuls of winter clothes are just kind of floating out towards you and are being held out kind of to everybody as like a selection.
Oh, in that case, the clothes would have like followed me into the room, because this was all already spinning through Kina's mind. Like she was already doing like more or less like a packing list in her head, just like winter clothes, extra torches, basically things that would work to, she probably would have been looking for things, looking into spirits and how one might appease them or put them to rest or defeat them, things along that line, just like anything that she thinks they might need for a wintry environment or for this particular mission. And she'll look at Xavier and go, did you manage to discover anything about the containment boxes in your research?
Xavier would just kind of look around and respond to Kina. I found a location that seems to be built within this library, designed to hold very dangerous magical artifacts. I have a box that will be perfect for the sphere. So if we decide that going after this next one is prudent and an acceptable risk, we do have a way to trap its magic inside.
Perfect. I do feel it is.
To store it permanently, we just need to capture it and bring it back here.
I do think this would be prudent to do, to ensure that it is secure. This place seems heavily warded, though. I mean, I'm no expert in magical wards, but we do want to ensure that Silvus or some other malignant entity cannot put their hands on this stone, on any of these stones, and this seems a good place to ensure this.
Brian, can Xavier state with like absolute honesty that this place is a better location to store dangerous magical artifacts with better wards than any location he's ever found previously?
Absolutely, beyond any shadow of doubt.
Kina, I truly feel as though if these spheres need to be stored anywhere, this would be the place to do it. The wards that I came across within the vault, they are beyond anything that I have come across within my lifetime. And I truly believe that if this is a path that we as a group determine is worth pursuing, this is the location to house those magical artifacts.
Very well. I will trust your judgment then. The region, this estate is not very far from here. I believe, I know we are meant to be en route to Oscana. in order to infiltrate and obtain information into if Zelrus has had movements and aid up north. However, I feel it would be prudent to investigate the stone in this region before we move forward with the Osgana mission.
Thevir would just kind of look around. It would seem that we have the most information on how to contextually make an impact on the world around us with this current mission. Should the rest of the group agree, I agree that sealing this stone away would be of great benefit for everyone on this material plane.
And with that, Kana's going to kind of look at the rest of the table.
Wait, Danielle, I don't mean to cut you off. Would you say, DM, that V and Sorsha had made their way back to the kitchen at this point?
Well, didn't you say
I thought
that you
you-
already told her to shut up?
Yeah. I thought I was walking in like after the rest of you were already back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was under the impression that y'all were all in the same room at this point.
I was, but I'm sleepy, so my bad.
It happens to the best of us. Don't worry.
It's Monday.
Exactly. That too. Well, I will say, if you look over at V, she's definitely like asleep, like a student would be in class. You know, like one of these. You know, like she just fell asleep. She kind of the lull of your voice of whatever the hell you guys were talking about.
Kina's going to look over, see this, and just sigh. And then she'll just kind of like, V, if you could wake, please. Do you agree with the course of action?
Yeah, use condoms. That's fine.
And Sorsha's gonna walk into the door. Anyway,
History check. Are condoms a thing in this game?
Why wouldn't they be contraceptives? V's thinking she said, "Do you agree with the contraceptives?" And she's gonna be like, "Yeah." She's half awake. She couldn't hear what the lady said.
I don't know how to respond to that. Of the questions that I am ready as a DM to field, are there condoms in this game was not like towards the top of the list of things that I had answers prepared for.
I will say that if you ask me to RP my knowledge about the history of condoms, I could probably succeed
So
in that RP check. But if you don't want to go there, that's fine.
that would be wild.
Drez is just drinking his
I'm going to
prune
say
juice,
that it's
ignoring
probably
everyone.
not going to get us anywhere.
That's
So
fair.
you know what? I'll say magic condoms. There you go.
Magic condoms are a thing. Okay.
I'm confused because
Can I?
I am too.
no, I'm so confused. Can we just like long rest and wake up the next morning ready to go for the mission? Because I don't want any of this conversation at all.
Okay. We can do
I
that.
want magic condoms to be a ritual spell in my spellbook
Oh my god, shut up.
at will.
It's a cantrip.
No, it's a ritual spell. It takes me 10 minutes plus an action. And
No, that's bullshit because in 10 minutes we all know what happens.
Speak for yourself.
Who can stay? You know what? I'm not going.
No,
to.
shut.
Anyway,
That's off.
let's talk about the rain in Spain, shall we, or something else?
Yeah, the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plains.
Anyway, I think this is a great idea to get us out of this silliness, for us to go somewhere and do something. My God, we've been in here so long. Look at what we're arguing about. It is ridiculous.
For real.
Let's go do something.
I have a question. How tall is Friar Tuck?
Tuck? Did you just call him Friar Tuck?
I'm pretty
Yes,
sure
I
she
did.
did.
Yes, I did. I have no regrets. How tall is he?
It's a good question.
Ow. Sorry, the cat
Yeah,
just scratched
Oh,
me.
Jesus.
He's a medium-sized creature, so he's probably around 6 foot.
Noted. Okay. I put that in my brain for
Although I would
future
like
reference.
to say, I really thought about being a small creature because I had the option to be, so I would be like this little 3 foot little kitty cat. But I'm gonna go with the tall one instead.
No, I had plans, but it's fine.
All right. So, you guys are going on this
An
mission
adventure.
to Evelevale. Yes?
Yes.
Sweet. All right. So you guys leave the archive and you guys spend a couple days traveling west. And you get to what is known as the Endless Lake, because it's basically the size of all 5 Great Lakes put together. So it's just a gigantic lake. And you head north on the shore for just a little bit, and you come to this town that, as you approach it, you notice that, because I mean, it's relatively sunny weather as you guys are traveling until you get to within about half a day's travel of the town, and then all of a sudden it is just overcast. And the closer to the town you get, the more gray it becomes. It starts raining pretty heavily. And you notice by the state of the roads that this, like, it's kind of like Seattle, where the days that it doesn't rain are special. It is. It is just kind of. But all of you notice, like, just it is just this very somber, very quiet, very stay to yourself. Like, as you see other travelers passing, like, nobody even gives you like a friendly nod or anything like that. They just go about their business. And as you get into the town, when people see you, they actively turn inside and like close their shutters and stuff like that. Like, it is definitely not the warmest welcome you guys have got.
Definitely not. Well, we are going to need information. As you said yourself, Draz, books can only tell us so much. The people who live in the region can tell us more, but I can be persuasive, but I am not always the best to blend.
Oh. When do we want to leave?
Saoirse will walk into the room and just say, "We leave in the morning. But get your shit together now. You're either with the party, you're with the group, or you're not."
Yeah.
And she would look at every single person in the room. We are together or we're not. So if you're not together, I just leave.
Tina's just gonna
Okay.
kind of take a look at like the others as just trying to gauge, like, is this normal? This doesn't feel normal for her.
Saoirse absolutely looks pissed. Like, she's ready to go. She's ready to fight. She looks very serious. She is like all business.
I feel like at that point, Kina is going to like just kind of follow her out of the room. And are you quite all right, Sorsha? You seem a fair bit agitated.
So she never left the room. She is still in the room and making eye contact. Person
When
by
you
person.
do leave, I'll follow you out, just so like we have some privacy to talk. Or are you waiting for everyone to respond first?
I'm sort of waiting for everyone to react to her eye contact. And I'm waiting for everybody to react to the seriousness that is this random fire Nazi wildfire druid with her flames up. All of a sudden, you guys see her, and her where her hair is normally red, her hair is blue flames. She is ready to go. She is ready to kick some ass. She's just ready.
So sure, we are all here because we are quite ready. Okay. Maybe talk a moment, and I'll just like kind of gesture for you to leave the room with me, and wait to see if you follow.
She would sort of poke Thevir, almost boop him like right on the nose, and sort of point towards Kina. Just go. Because she doesn't want to deal with the conversation. She's just done.
Thevir would pull Kina aside.
Is she quite all right?
She
is acting abnormally today.
She is quite all right. I do apologize. There are moments where influences shift her personalities. Sometimes you just kind of have to roll with it. But
Hopefully she gets it out of her system before we go into danger, because that could turn out badly.
As Draz says that, V kicks him under the table as hard as she can in the shin.
to be honest, this is the mindset if we're walking into danger. I truly hope that Sorsha has. When her flames burn brightest, no enemy can stand in the way. If we are walking into danger, which, Kina, you have shown us time and time again, is at the end of this road. We need warriors in our pocket, not courtiers.
I agree. We do need a serious attitude as we move toward. Apologies.
No worries. I understand where it's coming from. And I agree. We are at a moment where we need warriors. And this is the energy which we should hope continues through first contact.
Maybe her extended flames will keep us warm in the harsh winter that's coming.
Perhaps. I just worry she may
turn
burn
green,
herself out.
then I am quite concerned.
Good to know. Noted.
And you guys just see Sorsha walking out with her blue flamed hair. She's done. She's like wanting to get the job done. She's so done with you guys. Especially with the boss guy. Like, she's like, I'm fucking done.
With Thorvor? Thorvor? What's his name? He's not even here.
Hey.
No, she said the big boss guy. Not they.
Oh, I never remember his name.
Not a big boss guy.
Yeah.
That's why I just call him the boss.
For dad.
Yeah, I never remember his name. Brian!
Yeah!
What is Big Boss Dude's name?
Thorvor, right? Okay.
Borvar. Borvar. Borvar.
Yeah, I'm starting to remember that.
It will sink in my brain eventually.
And Keena's just, while I certainly agree a serious attitude is useful on these missions, I worry that she may burn herself out in the midst of them, and an attitude that is continuously hostile may create friction within the group, and especially when she is meant to be the leader. I just worry, especially if she is switching emotions quite often. Is there anything we can do to help her to hold a more consistent mental state?
To be honest, no. Sorsha is a product of the fire that burns within her. Passion ignites and it spreads, and it can be dangerous for catastrophists, or it can cause catastrophe, excuse me. But at the end of the day, when that passion surrounds you and protects you, you can't argue whether or not it was too much on the outside, especially when death is nigh. Let Sorsha's flames burn, and if we see that they burn a flame of green, then we know that we need to be a little bit more cautious on what the next steps may be. But do not begrudge a Genasi her fire.
I do not begrudge her. I simply worry.
The fire shall not be turned upon us, but merely upon our enemies. She may be driven, she may be focused, she may have decided on a route of travel. I've spent too long with too many nobles that could have argued themselves to an early grave. Argued themselves until they made no decision.
Yes, I am familiar with the notion.
That is a flaw that my love does not have. If anything, the fire sets her feet upon a path, and as it burns out the undergrowth, she has a clearer way forward than any other that I have come into contact with. Does that mean that it may not be an interesting route to travel? No. Fire burns in so many directions, and you never know how that path will unfold. But what I can tell you is indecision shall not be our failure, and that shall not be the thing that causes our death. And here's the thing to temper it. We have 5 other wonderful strategic minds that can determine the backdraft. We can wet out the blaze and direct it until only our enemies feel the full frontal blast of Sorsha's blaze. And that's
Very
what
well.
you must keep aligned with.
Very well. And with that, Kina is gonna just start getting ready for the mission, but like in her mind, she's kind of just like making mental notes, just like she's trusting this for now, but also like she doesn't entirely trust a situation where the person who is supposed to be in charge is kind of like flip-flopping emotions and going from one extreme to another on the fly, where like, you know, they're potentially walking into a social situation. Like as a noble, like Kina's entire life has been built around social interactions and you know, she knows first impressions can make or break a situation socially, and she knows if Sorsha goes in fires blazing into a situation, it could spell doom before anyone's even had a chance to do anything. So she's kind of just keeping an eye on it. She's a bit concerned. But she's hiding that. She's pretending that she's taking Xavier at his word. We can't hear you, Chief.
Hey, we can read lips though.
Do we all get the what is it? Is it observant or the keen feat that gets you the lip reading? I think it's observant. I could be wrong. I think it's observant.
Oh.
Well, when it's so obvious.
Yeah, I was about to
When
say
you
when
guys
it's
hear
so
it now.
obvious. Like,
Yeah, we
girl,
just heard it.
Okay. That's good. Computer's got jokes today.
Oh, we can't hear you again.
I will fucking end you.
Seriously? That feels rude as hell.
I mean, what feels rude as hell? All I saw was Brian's lips moving and no vocal coming over the stream.
No,
Yeah.
no,
I didn't hear anything.
That
All
was,
I heard was wah, wah, wah.
I'm
I
sorry,
promise, I didn't hear
static.
anything. I feel like Brian dropped out. Do we need to restart his computer again?
I heard
I
static.
think we might. He's gonna send a Tarask after us next time.
And then all of a sudden, a meteor hit the kitchen door.
He wishes we were IRL so he could flip the table.
This is where the Nope Wizard overcomes all of your objections.
Well, we're not
So,
at the
You
archives
need
anymore.
something with a plus 10 to hit, has blind sense, tremor sense, and blind fighting to overcome all of my resistances to all of my damage. So the rest of the party might die, and then Thevir is just going to spend the rest of his life reading in the library.
So
The world shall end in flame. Xavier flips page of the book.
the whole world just ends.
It's time to go.
So to move you guys towards the adventure so that we can start there next time. You guys leave the archives. You guys head out all of your gear. I believe you guys had some horses that you guys were riding. You guys saddle them up. You guys get going. You guys spend a couple days traveling west, and it is very delightful weather for 98% of the journey. Weather chilling, like right in the kind of like upper 60s, low 70s. Really nice. Kind of late spring, early summer weather. Then you guys hit Lake. Let me read my notes. Barrenton, which is Varenton. And this lake is also known as the Endless Lake because it is basically one giant lake that is the size of all 5 Great Lakes put together. It's just massive.
Nice.
And you guys travel north along the lakeshore for a little bit, and you notice that as you travel north, the weather very quickly goes from being sunny and beautiful to just overcast. And then when you're about half a day out from the town of Evlevale, it starts raining, and it is very much so kind of like like I said, kind of like Seattle, where it is when it doesn't rain, that is more of note than when it does. So it just
pains
is,
me to mention Seattle, but it's fun.
Say what? What's wrong with Seattle?
No, I love Seattle. That's my favorite city in the whole world.
It's a very rainy city.
No,
See, it's
actually,
not-
that's just what they say to stop people from moving there.
I've been
It's
there
more like
twice,
a
and it rained both times.
Well, that's just bad luck.
That's just bad luck.
My
Listen,
sister
well,
lives
anyway,
in Seattle.
It
Point
doesn't
is,
rain all the time. It
very
rains at a
rainy.
specific time every day, though. Every day it rains at a specific time in the afternoon. But
So-
continue.
You guys are really grasping the wrong details here. Point is, rainy, muddy roads. And you notice as you get closer to the town, people's demeanor changes where they become just very outwardly unfriendly. Like, not to the point of like going at you, but like, you know, normally going through the Republic, you see people and they kind of give you a friendly nod as they see you, or, you know, kind of tip the hat to you guys, just kind of friendly gestures of the road. But as you guys get closer to this town, like, people are just minding their own. As you get to the outskirts of the town, when people see you, they are actively like closing their shutters, like very much so, acting more like they don't like outsiders. And then kind of up past the northern edge of the city, raising up on a hill, you just see this incredibly snowy hill. You see pine trees that are being blown in the wind, despite the fact that, you know, where you guys are, not particularly windy or anything like that. And you guys just, even as you're looking at it, you just kind of feel this pang in your chest of just this like this negativity that just kind of strikes you for a second. And that is very easily identifiable as the Adivo estate. So this is where we will pick up next time, as you guys arriving in the town of Evlavale. If you guys are going to try to talk to locals like that, you know, you guys can absolutely try to do that. And then, yeah, getting done with this adventure. But as far as tonight, this is usually when we do what's going around the Nexus. So I will say tomorrow we don't have anything going on, which is cool. Wednesday we do have the Threads of War, hosted by Danielle down there. Thursday we were going to have Cyberpunk. I got to talk with Aaron about that. He has some big stuff going on, so I got to see where he's at with dealing with his stuff. Some big life stuff. Like it's legit this time. He's not just pulling a disappearing act. So, you know, cool. But we're going to figure that out. And then Friday, I believe, is that this Friday? That you guys is kicking off.
So we're going to start with session 0. Go through kind of a couple other things with the rebuild of Unarasa's Rise, and then if we have time, we'll go into the initial playthrough.
Okay, so we're not playing this week. We're doing a session 0 off stream.
That was what I got from the poll last time.
Okay.
And then most of the players wanted more of a session 0, and then if we had time to kind of set up the campaign. So that's what I'm planning on at the moment.
Okay.
You all right? So that's what's going around the Nexus this week. So in the meantime, we will say goodnight. Thank you, everybody, for coming and playing tonight. Good session, lots of good RP. And we will see you guys next time here on the Clockwork Nexus. Thanks for watching, everybody.